Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for joining us today, Perdita. Glad to have you here today.
I'm happy, of course, happy to be here.
Great. My name is Joe Bladek. I'm a mortgage broker in Barrie, Ontario, and I'd like to introduce Perdita. She's been 3 years in real estate. She specializes specifically in residential real estate. She was actually born in England, is bilingual in English and German. She's got two boys and has been living in Barrie since 1992. So thanks again for joining us today, Perdita. And we're going to be talking about a couple awesome things today, some things that can help buyers and sellers get prepared to buy a home. And so maybe I can start this off. Perdita, what does it mean to be prepared when buying a home? Could you share that with us?
Well, obviously, it's going to be different for individuals, but generally speaking, it's a great idea to, of course, talk to your mortgage broker, your lender, to find out where your parameters are. What can you afford? What can you truly afford? Not your dream home, but what can you truly afford? So that lends itself to, where's your line in the sand, in as far as at what point are you prepared to walk away from a deal? Is it, are you going to walk away from a great location that you can't change for $5,000 because, you don't like the paint? So it's really, I try and help people determine where their lines are. Being prepared, mortgage wise, and what they're prepared to walk away from.
Yeah, that's a good point. And when it comes to $5,000, I mean, what does that mean on like a mortgage payment, right? A lot of the times clients will ask me, can I afford an extra $5,000, or is that, or they believe that $5,000 extra on the purchase price is actually going to make such a large difference. But it doesn't really make too much of a difference, because if you're looking at an extra $5,000, I'm just plugging in the numbers here, and it works out to an extra $11 per month. And if you look at it bi-weekly, it shrinks it down to about an extra $4 per month. So, is the pain? Do you find that clients understand that? Do you find that that it's actually not as big of a shock as it really is, or are clients usually prepared to move the 5,000? Or
well, I'm personally, I'm not always prepared to tell them it's only an extra, $11, $12 a month. But what I do try and prepare, especially in the situation we seem to have in Barrie right now, if you've got a hot property, there's multiple offers. So it's educating people to say, okay, are you really going to squabble over $1,000?
Yes.
Or, are you going to be prepared and just say, it's just, let's just say yes, because in the big picture, long term, that $11 or something, it's quite likely that will become irrelevant in a year when the equity is there.
Makes sense. Yeah. You were saying the Barrie market's pretty hot. Like, I heard it's gone up double digits since last year. Is that about right? It was what I'm hearing correct there, or?
Generally speaking, yeah, we're seeing some really big increases. And that does have a lot of people nervous, but at the same time, again, preparation is everything. I mean, if somebody's only going to be in a property for a year or two, then maybe you have to steer them in a different direction. But if you're talking 5, 10, 15 years or a lifetime home, well, then it's a different conversation.
Okay, sounds good. So we briefly talked about there, what it means to be prepared when buying a home. We touched a little bit on, when you should walk away. Did you want to add a little bit on that, or I think we covered that a little bit there.
Well, yeah, it's going to be so individual.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So when we come looking at to buying a home there, I think we covered that. Obviously, on my end, being a mortgage broker, I would like to make sure that the buyer is pre-approved. So when you're dealing with say it's a first-time buyer or someone that's selling their home, that they are they're going confidently into the offer, knowing what they can afford. So if they do buy that home, there's no disappointment, and they can confidently move forward. So, when we were talking about selling the home, let's talk about now, could you give our viewers a couple tips there on what it means to be prepared when selling the home? Because you do that too, right? You help people buy
absolutely.
Home. Yeah, and as a real estate sales rep, you also help people sell their home. So let's talk about a little bit about how buyers can be prepared when selling their home.
Well, again, it's very individual, and they need their own lines in the sand, so to speak, as well. Are they going to say no to an offer for $5,000 to prevent them from moving forward to where they want to be? But sometimes it really doesn't take much to be prepared. Whether it's just spending that time to freshen up the paint and declutter, and then also from a financial point of view, are they in the position to sell financially, or are they going to just be very disappointed when they do go to their broker or their bank or their whatever lender and get a shock because they thought their house was worth a whole lot more, or they didn't realize their bills were as high as they were.
Yes. That's really important. I actually dealt with a husband-wife couple that had a large amount of bills and they didn't know what to do. Well, we were able to strategize and get them on point. So in 2 months' time, they could actually go and buy that home, sell their current home, and pay off all their bills, and went into their new home, which was a bigger home, with a lower overall payment per month, and paying a lot less interest. So it was a win-win situation, and it's all about being prepared, right? So they were prepared to just sell and start renting, and they actually ended up in a bigger home and less per month as well at the same time. So that's really important. Well, thanks, Perdita. It's been good hearing some of those tips on how to be prepared when buying a home and selling a home, and when exactly to walk away. So how can buyers and sellers find you right now? Do you have a Facebook page? Do you have a website?
Yes, I do, and it's all Facebook.com /Perdita Chivers. So you can see my name there on my. It's pretty consistent, so it's PerditaChivers.com, and so it's pretty straightforward. Nothing too fancy.
Great stuff. And so you deal in the Barrie and surrounding area. Did you want to give us your real estate sales email and phone number on the air here so people can reach you if they need to give you a call?
Sure. So cell is 705-794-4085. And from email, it's just perdita.chivers@gmail.com.
Okay, excellent. Perfect. Well, thanks a lot for joining us, Perdita, today. Perdita is a real estate agent with Your Choice Realty in Barrie. She's been, as I mentioned, selling and helping folks buy real estate in the area for around 3 years now. And I myself am a mortgage broker with Verico Mega Mortgage, and I work with over 50 different lenders to help my buyers get the best possible rate on their mortgage. Anything to add, Perdita, before we call it a day here? And if you have any questions on the viewers' end, please type them into the space below, and we can help answer any questions you may have. Anything to add there, Perdita?
Nothing really, other than this has been great. My first official blab, and yes. I appreciate the invitation and look forward to coming up with a few more subjects to discuss.
Okay. Well, we have a comment there below saying, "Good stuff, guys." I'm going to give a thank you shout out there. And yeah, we'll call it a day here.
Okay.
Have a great day, everybody.
Happy Friday.